Personally, I didn't look for my husband. Today I want to talk about one thing that I've observed. So I've observed that when we usually talk about finding the right person, people usually talk about looking for the right person. People are like, I don't know where to look anymore. I've not seen anybody. I don't know where to look anymore. Listen, ladies, you don't look for a husband. You position yourself to be found by one. Some of you may be saying, stay with me. Now let me take you back to Genesis. You may be familiar with this story where Abraham asked his servants to go and get a wife for his son Isaac. You are right? You're familiar with the story. Rebecca wasn't the one looking for Isaac. Abraham's servants went looking for a wife. Now, Rebecca was found. Those of you who are interested in reading the story, check Genesis 24. Verse 13 says that when Abraham's servant got to the place where he went to look for a wife for Isaac, he stood by the well where the daughters of the men of the city come out to draw water. It is at this place that Rebecca was found. Of course, when you read the story, you would realize that Rebecca wasn't the only one who got to the well. It is the well where they fetched water from. It is the well where the other damsels would also come and fetch water. Anyway, this teaching, there are other aspects that are important to talk about, but today I just want to emphasize the fact that it's important that you position yourself to be found. I realize that many times some ladies begin to look for a husband, they begin to look for a life partner, and so in the process they begin to do certain things, so that they will get the attention of some people. But I believe that you shouldn't have to be looking, you have to be found, and the only way that you can be found is if you position yourself. You have to position yourself to be found by the right person. What that means is that it's important that you position yourself at the right place. Some of you may be asking yourselves, how do I position myself? We'll get there. Before I talk about that, I also want to say that Eve did not look for Adam. Eve was brought to Adam. She was brought. So basically, my point is, Eve did not look for Adam. Personally, I didn't look for my husband. My husband found me. So ladies, if you are ready to get married, you have to position yourself. As a matter of fact, I personally advise that that is going to get a bit more complicated. I may confuse you, but you have to position yourself. Now, if you don't position yourself, it can cause some delays, because where would they find you? Just know what I mean? If you don't position yourself, ladies, how will he find you? Some of you are tired of waiting. You are like, nobody is approaching me to ask for my hand in marriage. Maybe you have not positioned yourself well. You have not positioned yourself where your husband should find you. So not positioning yourself at the right place, and when I talk about place, I'm not just talking about a physical location. I will get there. It can also mean a physical location anyway, but not positioning yourself well can cause delays. Positioning yourself well can also make you attract the wrong people. Some of you who are listening to me and you are like, the people that come to me are the people that I don't want to get married to. You need to check, how are you positioned? Where are you positioned? Because that matters as well. Maybe you position yourself at the wrong places. For instance, you want to get married to a child of God, to a born-again child of God. Always position yourself in places that you shouldn't position yourself, in places where there's a particular type of men. Those are the men that are going to approach you. Do you understand? Because that is where you have positioned yourself. Now, let's answer the big question that I know that some of you may have. How do you position yourself? Well, there are different ways in which you can position yourself. One, understand God's will for your life. This is one of the reasons that I'm very passionate about, encouraging you to understand God's will for your life if you want to get married in the will of God. Because if you want to get married in the will of God, then you have to understand the will of God for your life. But I see so many people who don't even understand the will of God for their lives, but they want to get married in the will of God. Yes, I know marriage in itself is God's will for us. God wants us to get married. But I also know that for us Christians, the scriptures talk about specific instructions that were given to people, to the children of Israel, as to the kind of people that they should marry and all of that. So it means that God is interested in who you marry. And I've shot a couple of videos on that, so I'm not going to go back to that. But to understand God's will for your life, and you have to pursue your purpose. Now, understanding God's will for your life does not just have to do with your purpose. It encompasses a number of things. And I've talked about that in my book, Understanding God's Will for My Life. But purpose is one of those things. And I'm saying this because most times when we talk about understanding God's will, people kind of segment it. We have God's will in different areas. So when I say for your life, I'm talking about understanding God's will for your life. You understand? Now, purpose is one aspect of it. What is it that God has called you to do? The reason that this is important is because you might have heard me say this a number of times, that marriage and purpose go hand in hand. And so that man that is looking for you, let me just explain it this way. Adam was put in the garden, and Adam was given work to do. Adam was given purpose. And so Eve was coming into the picture to be a help to Adam. And so that man that is looking for you, I want to believe that man knows his purpose. So that man is looking for a woman who is going to be a help to him. So you have to know your purpose, because your purpose positions you where you should be. I don't know if you got that. Your purpose will position you where you should be and where you should be found. Rebecca was found doing something, and she was found doing something at the right place. So your purpose is doing the right thing at the right time, at the right place. This is why, in order for you to pursue a divine purpose, you have to have a personal relationship with God and really stay in tune with the Holy Spirit to know what to do. But I actually go into details in my book, Understanding God's Will for My Life. The next thing is you have to carry yourself well. Many times we think that the physical aspect doesn't matter. It does. In the passage that I was reading, let me just show you. Genesis 24, Amsel was very fair to look upon, a virgin. Neither had any man known her, and she went down to the well and filled her pitcher and came up. Basically, she was beautiful. Rebecca was beautiful. And it also means that she was taking care of herself. She was fair to look upon, she was beautiful, she was taking care of herself. So sis, you have to take care of yourself. You have to carry yourself well. You have to check how you actually present yourself, how you dress, how you take care of yourself, how you take care of your skin, how you take care of your hair. All of these things, you have to package yourself well as well. The men look at that. No matter how spiritual he is, he's also going to look at that. Anyway, I'm just saying. So it's important that you also carry yourself well, because you don't want to be a turn off. You don't want the man to see and be like, okay, but you understand. So carry yourself well. It's all part of the package. You don't just do that because you want to be found, but you do that because you understand that it is part of your identity. Another thing is, you have to be kind. You have to be nice. It's not just about what you wear, but it's also about how you're able to relate to people. When the servant met Rebecca, or when he found Rebecca, Rebecca was a nice person. This is turning into a Bible study, but you understand, Rebecca was a nice person. She was well behaved. When you go back to Genesis 24, you would read that the servant went to meet her, and he said, I'm paraphrasing, can you help me with a little water? Can I drink a little water? Rebecca did not only give the servant water, she actually offered him water, but also offered to give his camels water. So what that means is that she was a serviceable person. She was very nice. She was kind to strangers. With some ladies, you may not know who is who. That stranger that you meet, that man that you meet, you may not know he may be the one for you, but because you are rude, you may put him off. So you have to learn how to behave towards strangers, towards people that you don't know. You have to be kind. You have to be nice. You have to know how to talk to people. You have to know how to receive people. You have to know how to create a good impression. Okay, so you have to be serviceable. She was serviceable. She was well mannered. She was serviceable. She was willing to help him, not just give water to him, offer him water, but also to his camels. Probably because she understood that was how to do things. So you have to be serviceable as well. Alrighty, so there are a couple of other things, but I believe that they fall under these few things. So there's the spiritual, there's the physical. You have to blend both. Don't just be spiritual. You can be spiritual and also really make it difficult for you to be found, or even when you are found, for the man to say, yes, can you marry me, because of your attitude. So work on all of that, and I'm sure, for those of you who are believing and trusting God to get married this year, the year is still young. I trust God, that it will happen for you. So I hope that this helps. You don't look, you position yourself, and you'll be found. The scriptures say, I'm going to conclude with that, I believe, in Proverbs 18 verse 22. Proverbs 18, where is it? So findeth a wife, findeth a good thing, and obtaineth favor of the Lord. So you see, it said, whoso findeth. Whoso findeth. So the man is the one to find you. So, and it said, whoso findeth a wife, which means that you have to be a wife. You have to be a wife. I usually say that wife is not just a title. It's a rule. It's something that you embody. No, it's not just a title. And I think that this verse actually even buttresses that point, because it says, whoso findeth a wife. So you have to begin to prepare yourself to be a wife. You have to be a wife before your husband actually finds you. That's why you hear people say she's not a wife material. So some of these things that I've mentioned will help you to begin to prepare yourself. Hopefully in the next video we'll go a bit more into details in some of these things. Thank you so much for watching this video. Again, if it's your first time watching any of my videos, you're welcome. My name is Priscilla, and I film about faith, purpose, and marriage. And if you haven't yet joined the family, click on that subscribe button to join the family, and turn on the notification bell right beside it so that you get to be notified anytime I post new videos. If this video blessed you, please share it with someone. Share the good news with someone. Let's help someone who feels frustrated right now. Let's help someone who desires to get married this year. Alrighty, so thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.